I don't know if I can tell the difference between a war film and an anti-war film. And I imagine a war film should get people riled up and wanting to go off to war, and an anti-war film should be just the opposite. But on this one list about the top anti-war films, it says a Ballad of a Soldier, Grand Illusion, Hearts and Minds, Sophie's Choice, Dr. Strangelove, All Quiet on the Western Front, Three Kings. Three Kings didn't seem like an anti-war film. That seemed like a war film. War films come out in droves. They have over time to get young men excited about enlisting. Sometimes I'll see a movie and I'll think, boy, that war film was really graphic, it was really horrible. Yet when it's over, you'll talk to some young Marine and they say, you know, I watched Full Metal Jacket, man, and I love that movie myself. It's my favorite movie. And it was brutal, people were dying, but it had some element of coolness. And there was just something about the dialogue, and they made the scenes so cool that it made young guys want to enlist. So what makes a war movie different from an anti-war movie? The Hurt Locker. The Hurt Locker. Now I watched this and it's set in Iraq. If you're an American soldier, is this what it's like? It seemed really realistic. Is this what it's like? If you're an Iraqi, or you know anything about the other perspective, is this what it's like? It didn't portray war as very glorious, and when my buddy and I were done watching it, we looked at each other and we said, man, that looked like hell. You know, and it didn't look like glamorous, cool hell. It looked like hell. Please, if you can, watch The Hurt Locker and let's talk about it. Maybe we could start talking about these movies because Americans are learning about Iraq through movies like The Hurt Locker. I think one thing, the difference between a war movie and an anti-war movie might be whether we're portraying somebody as a good guy and somebody as a bad guy. Having a classic villain makes a good war movie. Having the audience wonder, was there really a bad guy here? They're just like us. When you start wondering that sort of stuff watching the movie, then you start thinking maybe it's an anti-war film. I told my brother I watched this war movie and I couldn't tell whether it was an anti-war movie or a war movie. He says that sounds like they did a good job then. Maybe walking that line between a war movie and an anti-war movie and just telling the truth is the secret. You know, I always try not to take sides. Sometimes in my life I do take sides, but I like to try to walk the line in the middle. And neutrality is difficult sometimes. When I watch the Palestinian children in their outdoor prison, let's watch The Hurt Locker if you can. Anybody who's interested in doing it. Any other movies that you know, war movies, whether you think they're war movies or anti-war movies. And why is it that a super violent, horribly graphic war movie where everybody dies, that a young man can walk out of there and say, I'm joining up. Yeah, that's for me. What is it? What is it that these movies do that get you charged up where a guy can say, I'm ready to go die for my country if that's what it takes? You know, I just saw that movie and I'm fired up.
Flavor on America!